Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you've followed me for a while now, you'll realise how much I love the damsel, and it all starts on this exact pattern here. This was the reason. It was from troutflies.co.uk. I'm sure most of you are aware of that website. Really reasonably priced patterns, but this damsel, the blue flash one with the gold head, really made me aware of how deadly the damsel pattern is. Before I got back into fly tying, I just used to buy my patterns off them, and yeah, this particular one, they do two, one with a red flash, one with a blue, but I just thought the blue variant was so effective. And damsels in general work all year round. That's why there's such a versatile, useful fly. And they hatch in all still waters in the UK, so trout are always gorging on them. So yeah, this is the pattern of trout flies. And then when I got into tying, I thought, how can I enhance this up? Even though it didn't need to be, you want your own little spin on it. So how can I enhance it up? And in this next tie, I'll show you how. So for this pattern, I'm going to be using Uni 80 olive. Got some fine gold wire. Olive marabou from Vineyard. Short cock hackle from Vineyard in olive as well. And the secret ingredient is the glister sparkle dubbing from Vineyard in purple, but it does look fairly blue. In the vise, I have a size 10 long shank from Flybox with a 3.2 brass metallic blue bead. As usual, I'm just going to run down the hook. Doesn't have to be too neat. All this is going to get covered anyway. Just break away the excess. Down to where your barb would be. About there. Just going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to start with the tail. Got my plume here. I usually like to take the smaller ones off the bottom and use these nice middle section ones. They're much longer and wavier. So grab a good pinch and rip them off. Bunch them all up together at the ends, so you have your bunch ready like that. Twist it so you can gather them all together, and then I'm going to cut away all the little hard parts here. Like so. Then I'm gonna run my thumb fingers through this as well to thin it out. Quite a lot of fluff comes off this. Right, that should be good. So your tail wants to be a good hook length away. So that's about right. I'm going to come on top here and come down this way till I get to that. And I'm going to come back, keeping the marabou up, down to where that barb would be. And that's my tail on. Forgot to mention, you also want some metallic blue tinsel as well, like this, to go in the tail. So I'm going to put this in, coming under my thread. I'm going to hold one side out while I tie along the body, just watching it tangled to the other one. Okay, I'm back on myself, it's in. I'm going to come it over and tie this side in now. Okay, they're in. So I'm going to bring it all up together. Come out a bit. So you don't chop the ends of the marabou off, just go along the tinsel, close your scissors tight as they can be and run down to where the end of the marabou is, and then snip. That way you won't get your marabou, you'll only get the tinsel. Okay, so that looks pretty good now. Just under there a little bit. There we go. Next I'm going to put my wire in, because this is going to secure the hackle later on. Just very thin gold wire. Hardly any weight. Its sole purpose is to just seal that hackle in when I need it to. So we're going to tie that, put that away, and then we're going to start the dubbing process now. With this purple glister. Really nice stuff, this, especially when it's wet. Just very shiny, and the trout love this variant. I've done so well on this pattern. Keep working your way up that hook, trying to keep the body fairly even. Okay, that'll do. Now that dubbing's in, I'm going to put my piece of hackle on. So what I like to do is just pull the hackle fibres out so they're ready to whip around your hook. Just take the long ends off a little bit to give yourself some tying room on the end of the hackle there, not stem. So point your hackle, see there's a slight curve in it, have it bent towards your tail. Just a loose wrap first to seal it in, make sure it's still pointing towards your tail. make sure you get a good few wraps on that, because it can pull out with that knot if you don't wrap it enough times when you're trying to hackle it down the hook. So use my hackle pliers, I've got the ends. I'm going to come down, one around the collar, and then I'm going to work my way down now. Just in one motion so they stay even. Till you get to the end of the body, and then I'm going to take my wire and come round the opposite way. Trying to fiddle between those hackles, you don't want to disturb them too much or they'll all go flat. And you want them nice and exposed. There we are, and then I'm going to wrap that around the bead just to keep it there. Okay, and now I'm just going to cut the end of the feather where the hackle pliers are in, next to the body. Pull all your hackles back, start tying in behind that bead. Then you can just break your wire away like that. So give yourself a mill behind these hackles, because we're going to finish the fly with a little collar of the purple dubbing. Like so. Just going to do this knot in. Three of them should do it. Just tighten that. And there you have it. The enhanced blue flash damsel with that purple glister dubbing. You can just see the purple shining through that hackle there. Just wet this fly a bit. Get a little grasp. You can see in the picture now what it looks like when it's wet. One of my favourite damsel patterns, probably is my favourite. It's been very consistent for me. You can fish this any type of line you want, floating, sinking, intermediate, vary your retrieves, and you will get your fish. Extremely satisfying catching on your own patterns. It's good to share ideas with other people. There's so many variants out there. There's probably hundreds like this. But I thought just putting that glister dubbing in the body instead of just olive thread or normal olive dubbing, just a little contrast. And that's what I've come up with. If you like the video, guys, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see any more. The weather's really bad at the minute, so I'm just taking my time at making patterns while I'm off work. Hoping you're enjoying them. I'll see you next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.